Hello, my name is Byron Henry, Human Stability. Welcome to this video, Expanding the Eternal Circuit, I call it. The dream crystal, eternal and internal. All that is a hologramic electromagnetic light fractal. The multidimensional compound memory differs from the third density. How and so does it do so? Well, because it is all dimensions designed by God and existing as you move through them. And this is a memory, what is also called akashic records. They all exist in the now. And they're not really in the future or past. But you move in and out of them, and they're already there, but it is only for you to be within them, opposed to third density memory, which is remembering something that figures it's the past and that it is separate from you. When traveling into another reality, the other reality that you're in is not of interest to you, because it is no longer is not in the past nor in the future. It is simply being moved in the now to the now to the now. So you do not have a memory of it, but you are existing within the next one and the next one. It is all integrated with dreaming. This also occurs because of the great deal of difference in the parallel realities, the dream states. Just like when you're sleeping at night, one is so different than the next, and rather than third density, where it always seems to stay about the same. The matrix or multi-matrix is the wave separation of all existence, so I like to call it. The way that everything is separated and organized. It's like a light projector. You really are a ball of light, and this is what light orbs are when we refer to light orbs and stuff like that. And it really comes down to that, because the true dimension of everything is actually a sphere. And the sphere, that's why planets are spheres, stars are spheres. You are a light orb. So you are a projector of light existence, and the light is already there infinitely, which is not understood by the physical mind, of course, but it is that. In the soul blueprint, you'll find that many dimensions are linked to each other with a relevancy to your overall dream and structure. It's part of the way the matrix is formed together. That you can see how this is all kind of part of your picture, and maybe this is somewhat leaving in an organizational pattern in your life. Creating a degree of balanced change between the dimensions actually allows the soul, the spirit, to no longer have a neediness, because one experience is so different than the next in balance that you no longer get attached to something. You no longer can hold on to it for an overly long period of time, making your life that it shouldn't be. Or not that it shouldn't be, that you may not want it to be. Because after all, we have to remember that we choose as a soul is only that of which we choose, and therefore it is our choice. What is not available to enjoy in the now is that you would not, and therefore that ascends the being onto future yearning. So you don't have future yearning anymore, because you are only content with the now. The further content you are, the more you shift into further dimensions. The soul no longer has a yearning for what is not available in the now. Therefore, it ascends the being out of this, and therefore, this is the process for basically ascension. You are satisfied so much with that of which you're in the now. You're moving into another dimension, and further dimensions of freedom and happiness. Becoming eternal at peace with the multidimensional self, basically, that you are. There is just no further interest in holding on to things anymore when they're not necessary. Necessary, basically, for your happiness, because it all comes down to the happiness. Joy and happiness is the trip of the soul, to always have further and further more of that and less of what we don't really want or wish. It basically will set you eternally at peace, so that you can just be in a state, and very often I've done this myself, and it is good just to be in a state of no sound, no disturbance, and just being happy that you are where you are. And then you can move into the next dimension. It's very easy. The bubble of expansion can infinitely rise in vibration as there's no more external need. So as the illusion is gone for I need externally, then within you can expand through the heart, and you can expand your bubble of vibration furtherly and furtherly, because you'll see that as you do not feel like you need something, you realize that it will be there for you more and more. So you kind of let go further and further. Here's the key. Work hard for all you have, or expand to all you are. That's my little phrase, but I like to put it that way. You do not need to work. You do not need to work hard in life. It is an illusion. It is a choice, but really all is available to you through agreement and through love. The conceiver is the believer for the perceiver. That's the key. You will actually auto-shift into the next dream dimension as you're furtherly excited and furtherly excited with your choices, because you cannot think how something is being done, but you just drop into that vibration as you're furtherly excited. It will just keep moving you on, and you just want to have further happiness. You just never want to have uncomfortability, aggression, fighting, problems. You'll see what to do furtherly and furtherly. You're moving on to happiness. Your current dimension will allow you to perceive further dimensions of similarity. And what I mean by that is that, as you become confident with the dimension that you're in, you're actually seeing the literal sensory reflection that things are working better for you. Then that energy will automatically link you to other dimensions of similarity, like a vibrational process that you can jump from. It's almost like a chess game, that you can jump the player from this player to that level as you're getting into a better position of your life and happiness. So it's just a step-by-step process, really. But it's not really step-by-step, because it's all happening at the same time. But you understand what I mean? Sure. That's all the multidimensional idea. In order to remember ourselves in another dimension, we forget the past in the now. So it's actually a process, and I was telling myself this very recently, actually just before I shot this video a few days ago in the last week, realizing that more and more I required to let go, and this is it, and that there is no level of even really getting to your destination. You just let go, and you will fall into the next reality and realize yourself within the next reality. It's exactly what you do at night when you're dreaming, but you have to realize that it isn't much different when you're awake. So that's the process. You just constantly wake up in the now, you wake up in the now, you wake up in the now. And that's basically it, really. It's very much a now experience. Waking up into the multidimensional soul essence is really just the choices and realities of you the soul. And you just choose your way there, basically. Now, just to conclude this video, the last thing that I want to mention is a little bit just about the scientific, for those that are interested, a little bit of understanding more about this one particle that it all is with these layers, and what's really happening with the fifth density and the fourth in this eternal circuit that's happening here within ourselves. The fifth density, really, the fourth density is not separate than the fifth, you see, and then in the sixth, they're all really one. The fifth is like the dimension borderlines. It's parallel reality, because parallel realities just basically can mean that this movement of reality, this dream state is different than that, was different than that, different from that. These are like your dimension borders. The dimensions themselves, these things that we actually call dimensions, we're referring to as dimensions, very important, are actually the fifth density that's separating that, with the sixth density and with the oversoul. And the one dimension is not connected to the next. It's actually not connected to the next. It can share information with the next through its choice to share that information, because the other will accept that. Therefore, it does that. But one dimension is not actually affecting the next that way. And so, the fifth density separates that. And of course, it's the same thing on the physical, because it's all layered. The fifth density goes through everything. We always have to remember it's one particle. It gets a little tricky sometimes when we're trying to create it linearly, stack it linearly, because you have to stack it linearly for the thinking process type of thing. But really, it's not linear. It's actually all inside of one particle. And I actually have that on the part of the Circle of Life program, and you will see on the website that I have a diagram of the particle, which I've cut and separated so you can see the different layers, where the dodecahedron is sitting in the center with your tetrahedrons, which are sitting in there, and then you have your hexacube, which is all sitting in there inside of a circle, inside of a sphere. So basically that's how it's all working, you know. Never separate it. You know, the dimensions are here, 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 and they're all separate, but they're all part of one system. It's this 0-point concept that God is floating on zero resistancy. God is allowing all separation while creating all oneness. And all separation while all oneness is basically infinity. And that's why the God particle and the God system is infinity. So that's basically all I have to say in this video, and I hope that everybody enjoyed it very much. And you know, work with it and expand and find out for yourself the same information I'm discussing with you. Remember, I'm only telling you what you already know, and what you're gaining for yourself and understanding. So again, enjoy all the rest of human stability if you're going to be there for other reasons, or if you just came for the video. And thank you so much for watching the video, and blessings to yourself, and give yourself the freest and happiest life. Peace out.